Yo, it's Kevin Chiz, my weekly recap and outlook for DAX, the German index. So let's just get straight into it. As you can see, we had two weekly candles. The first one, which opened at 24,354.7 and closed at 24,364.5. The next week opened at 24,395.7 and closed at 24,579.5. But before I break these down, I'll go into the daily. The reason I stopped doing a weekly recap is purely because even though it's 2 weeks, there still is only 5 days of price action because we were ending the year. So we had a bullish, doji, bullish, and then bearish. But yeah, nevertheless, good opportunity. First things first, always gotta check the news. And so Monday, no news. Tuesday, we had USD prelim at 1:30. Wednesday, bank holiday for the Germans, and then bank holiday Thursday and Friday. So the first week literally had only 2 days. If we look at it here, Monday, Tuesday, and then we went straight into the next Monday. And then the last week of the year, we had FOMC on Tuesday, 7 p.m., bank holiday again on Wednesday, and then bank holiday on Thursday, and then Friday was a trading day. So Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So altogether 5 trading days, not bad. We'll just break this down. Here were my draws. My draws got taken. My level did not get tapped. I did say I wanted to tap back into this forward inverse, which was a nice little inverse. That did not happen. But nevertheless, good opportunity. Let's just break this down to Monday. I will delete that. I could delete my level as well because it did not get tapped. Instead, what we did do is we tapped into this forward inverse right here. Untapped, tapped into, untapped, tapped into here, inversed here, and then held as low the week on Monday. I will send this to back and break down Monday. So Monday London session, pretty sure right here, high of the day. You can see if you just break this down, you could have got this nice sell. Where is this here? No clue. London opens, we sweep all of these highs. Pool of resting liquidity above here. Pretty much triple highs, 1, 2, 3. Swept. And then we start to reverse. On the 15-minute now, we had this nice little 15-minute inverse. You can see respected. Tapped into a total of 3 times before getting disrespected right here. But yeah, you could have caught sell off of this move. And draws would have been, if you go into the hourly, we had a nice little double low kind of thing here. This would have been a nice TP. And high of the day was placed in pretty early at 8 or 8:30. Good timing for high of the day. As soon as that happens, as soon as liquidity gets swept, low time for manipulation. We'll have to look at this in 1 minute. Broke structure. Fair value gap. Tapped into. I'll let it dry out. And then reaction out. Big candle out. Another fair value gap out. And yeah, good EQ taps along the way. This trade here is very clean. You can see this is absolutely perfect. TP or entry here. Let's just say SL above the thingy. And draws still a 2RR trade straight to the draw. Very clean, very nice. I want to have a look at the hourly as well before market open. Because I think we are bearish. Are we? No, I think the last break structure is bullish. But the sweeps and then the reaction straight after, very clean. That's all that really matters realistically, this sweep and the reaction after. And then you had an opportunity at 11, because 11 starts to reverse here. New forward open, reverse, taps back into the 15-minute inverse, and then this is a nice little like golden pocket. 0.876, this is kind of considered OTE, and that's high the 4 hour. And then we dump, straight tap into the forward inverse. If I look on the forward time frame, tapped into the forward inverse, new forward opens, and then reverses, and that's just low of the week. But yeah, pretty good Monday, I'd say, because I think I didn't really have a look at New York, but New York session, you could have still caught this sell move down. I know we didn't sweep this liquidity here, but we edged it. And this sell move, again, is pretty clean. Maybe you could have caught it off of Let's just go into the 1 minute. Break structures. This is nice. And yeah, it's pretty much it. That was New York. New York started moving on open and then reversed at 3 p.m. But I think the move was just high the day move, which is kind of clean. All the way to low the day is like a lot of points. But yeah, that was Monday, and then of course we didn't tap the level, and yeah, of course bullish bias still holding, and this is low of the week coming into Tuesday London session, which is right here. Pretty much similar thing. It's just I didn't hold as high the day. If you look at open, it looks like the bias first, of course. At this point we are bullish, and then the 4 hour is bearish because of this break structure. So we know that the bullish is just kind of a retracement. So London opens, pretty much similar thing, again with similar timing. We come up 8:30, sweeps a high, come back down, reverse back up. Low of the day gets placed in at 140, which is actually a really good timing. Purely because I think there was news on Tuesday. Yeah, look, literally news was low of the day, which is nice to see because it's 1:30, also known as 8:30 New York time, which is a good timing for low of the day to get placed, honestly. And you can kind of view this as accumulation and then manipulation. And what did you manipulate into? All of these lows getting taken. If you look at this on the 15, we had these fair value ups, unmitigated fair value ups, and you can see low of the day was just this 15-minute inverse tapped into perfectly low of the day. And then this 15-minute failure ups, this one here had no bottom wick at 345, tapped into good reaction. And yeah, but London was decent. I think this is 11, I can already tell. New forward opens and it just dumps, creates a top wick and it just dumps. This would have been a good draw. And then on the buy up, after these sweeps here, after all of these liquidity gets taken, on the 3 minute you have this perfect fair value up, absolutely beautiful. And then what's this? Probably on the 1 minute. I forgot I even had that marked out. Right here in the 1 minute, you had this nice fair value up, inverses here, and just good price action, honestly. Good equilibrium as well after sweeping that liquidity. Perfect equilibrium alongside that 3 minute fair value up, and it just draws straight to this TP. New York session opens, accumulates a bit. We took this high. Of course, this high would have been a draw. And then, of course, 3 p.m. opens, sweeps a low. Probably a 15-minute liquidity sweep. I have to check. Nope, just a 15-minute fair value gap. And you can see here we left behind gaps. So this would have been extra TP for future. Make this white. 50-minute tapped into. Closed up here. Maybe you could have caught this move up to this next draw. After the 15-minute closed, you can see literally as soon as this 15-minute closes at 3:15, you could have waited for a retracement into this fair value gap, and this move up is more than enough. But yeah, that was pretty much Tuesday. Again, good price action, and then we pretty much accumulate for the rest of the day. Okay, some nice liquidity here to target in the future. But yeah, I can remove all of these now. I mean, draws did get hit high time frame. I did want these getting hit. I'll talk about that later. Coming to the next week. No news on Monday, so it was a pretty good trading day on Monday. I delete everything. Oh, we can leave that actually. You can see we came back to this same level of the 15-minute inverse, which is nice. We didn't actually sweep this low. I don't think we did. Oh, we did. I'll put a sweep here. However, I'll make it just a proper line because this sweep taking about one tick, 945 low of the day, and yeah, pretty much. Let's see what London did. Is this London? Yeah, 8 a.m. just dumped. So of course, new week opening up, NWOG. We left behind this huge NWOG, huge gap, whatever you want to call it. London opens, we just dump. Hide the day gets placed in here at 7:30, and that did not get taken. That was just hide the day at 7:30, hide the day. And yeah, I doubt you could have got this move, but again, we had a huge gap here, we had a huge liquidity here, and then gaps here that had to get filled. We filled them up, even swept this low, and then start to reverse at 9:30. And then after that, we just had 5-minute fair value ups, 5-minute breaker structure, broke structure here, 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 triple breaker structure here, 5-minute value ups here. These are breakaway gaps because they don't get touched, as you can see. And then this one gets touched, tapped into, and then higher price action. Not bad, low of the day at 9:45. Let's remove this. And then of course you have this draw for the next day, and then alongside these three draws, which you can see got run through. And yeah, that was pretty much Monday. We'll have a look what New York session did, but it looks like we just ranged the entire day after this huge down move. Of course, huge down move, what are you going to see? EQ getting tapped straight away, or within a few hours at least. And you can see that in this case, after liquidity is swept, 9:45. We already tapped EQ at 11:45. Literally 2 hours later, we've rebalanced this huge move down. And that's just how price action works. Yes, you could have caught this move up straight to the EQ. And if you look at it on like the hourly, it's just a huge fair value up, of course. Inefficiency gets just disrespected here, and then gets used in inverse, which is nice. But yeah, that's pretty much Monday. Tuesday, so look, low of the day, 8 a.m. We also had this 1 hour bullish fair value up alongside the inverse. Didn't tap into on Tuesday. Tuesday we had news, FOMC meeting at 7. I will mark that out. Where's 7? There we go. Make that red, why not? Because it is red folder. But yeah, this low of the day here, no bond work at 8 a.m. It's just pretty clean. You can see these are strong lows. Tapped into these lows here, broke structures up. So what you do is you just draw OTE. And oh, this one is perfect OTE at 8 a.m. low of the day, bottom ticked pretty much. And this run, I think on the hourly, because all it is just an hourly strong low. Perfectly tapped. And this run -2, which is kind of crazy. Because on hourly, if you enter late even, it's still -2, it's still like 6, 7 RR or even 8 on the hourly, which is crazy. Of course, you have opportunities within that hourly trade to catch something. On the 5-minute, we didn't really have much, to be honest. On the 3-minute, let's have a look. Tapped into, nothing. This is a nice fair value gap. I think it was 9:30, yeah. 9:30, this was a valid trade at 9:30, I would say. And then the next opportunity you had was the next 4-hour open. Let's make this green. Of course, we swept this liquidity here, and you'd expect a retracement into this 15-minute bullish fair value up. And this is again 11 a.m. open, boom, new 4-hour open, and you can see this breaker structure on the 4-hour, and then you still had these draws here, which were my dolls, and then tapped into 15-minute value ups, and then gave good reactions. This is a beautiful 5-minute value up if I've ever seen one. Very clean because we even tapped into this one again at 11:25. No top wick on the 4-hour. Good trade, good 5-minute candles, no top wicks, no bottom wicks, no bottom wicks. An expansion straight up to draw liquidity. Of course, this runs even further because this is just momentum. And yeah, low of the day got placed at 8, sorry. And high of the day gets placed in at 4:25. New York session, you kind of had an opportunity again off of just a 5-minute fair value up, 5-minute inverse. Pretty clean. If I look on the 15, it's just bullish. As you can see here, 15-minute bullish value up, no bottom make. Even this one got respected, crazy. And then I think 3 p.m. opens. Boom. And then reverses. Of course, 3 p.m. This bomb week would have been a nice draw liquidity on the floor. I want to see how this looks. That's why it looks so weird, is because after this forward close, the next one comes down, and then days ends. And then I think it's just the new year. Yep. 1st of Jan, there was no news. And then 2nd of Jan, we actually had a trade. So on to the last day. And I did say, after taking these drawn liquidities, we could see us coming down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I did say we could see this, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Of course, I still want all-time highs to get taken, so I just want a retracement, of course. But first $2 hit, love to see that. And then for the rest of the time, we was just chilling in this forward bullish fair value up after breaking structure in this value up, which is nice. We have a forward here as well, untapped. Boom. But yeah, coming to Friday, also known as the first day of the year. What happened again? London session high of the day. It was actually good timing. This buy up was actually very clean as well. To me, this is just a Wyckoff and a Wyckoff. There's a Wyckoff here as well. But I will explain this. So good draw here. This is a daily high. Let me draw out this entire Wyckoff. Oversold swing, automatic rally, test, 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 test. Purge of the oversold swing, selling climax, straight to the beginning of the oversold swing. Pretty clean. Obviously, this is the 15-minute time frame. You love to see that. We'll have a look how you could have caught this. I mean, there wasn't really much chance. If I look on the 1 minute, you can see this. I mean, this is kind of what you want to see, but it's not the best if you want to catch a trade here because there really isn't much. Of course, on the 1 minute, you have, there's a fairly up here, this is untapped. Fairly up here, again, pretty much untapped. And then you have this fair value up, which is tapped into. So maybe you could have caught this move at 8:30 or 9ish. And then new hourly opens. Sweeps the liquidity, daily high gets swept. And then here we have a chance to actually enter a trade because we break structure. Fair value up here, I think it was on the 3 minute. 3 minute break structure, fair value up on the 3 minute, good close. And then now you actually have a very good trade where you could have entered. We also have a nice equilibrium tap again, I think on the 1 minute. I would consider this as EQ, close enough. And then obviously this is EQ. We have nice EQ taps on 1 minute, always, to be fair. Like this. And this is at 9:45. And then after this, you'll really be trading after 10. But you can see after 10, we just come back straight down. And it's interesting because we come back down to this RTO level, which I would consider this as the RTO level. If we to come back up, it would reverse after here, after where this selling stops, around here. You'd see, okay, but at this point, the selling climax already got taken. So you can see price returns back to this point of control here, and then reverses back down. Because low of the day did not hold at 8:01, which is nice because this sweep isn't enough. So like a 1 pip sweep. If you're gonna sweep a pool liquidity, you should at least be 10 pips or like more than 5, not 2. So yeah, high the day is placed in. This shows here very clean because you have a nice draw being low of the day, and this reversal. Even the buy up you could have caught as well because it is OTE at a new forward open. If I just draw it out, perfect OTE on like the 50-minute. As you can see here on the 5, I think it's very nice. Again, you could have got this, and then you have nice fair value ups up. Just getting respected. This one's respected. I know it gets tapped into, but it's respected. Like I said, new forward opens at 11. We tap into this 5 minute, respected, and then straight up, which is nice. And then we got a New York session, which I considered another Wyckoff. If I draw here, I know this sell was very nice on NQ. I liked it on DAX as well, if I'm being honest. If you look at in the hourly and the 4 hour, nothing much. But if we now go into the 30-minute, we have this 30-minute fair value up here, and then we have this 30-minute inverse. Oops. I have the 30-minute inverse here. Boom, boom. And then the Wyckoff that I'm referring to, we'll draw it out. Boom. Is overbought swing. TP would have been here. Let's draw out the TP. Or even here, wherever. TP, drawn liquidity, of course, one of the main things to enter a trade. And then we also have a 15-minute liquidity sweep. Overbought swing. Let's look at the 1 minute or the 3 minute. Let's look at the 1 minute actually. So the reason I consider this a Wyckoff is because this is steep, this is steep, this is steep. Selling stopped, automatic rally, pretty deep automatic rally. You can see the automatic rally is what validates the selling stopping, because we have a down move, and you can, the buying. This is all buying. Buying climax is here. The buying stopped right here and create a high. And then you can see here the automatic rally, the test, which started accumulating after New York Open. Price comes down, creates automatic rally, test, and then this move out considered manipulation, also known as the purge, takes the top of the buying climax, and then reverses straight to where? The beginning of the buying climax. So boom, TP again, just bomber clock. How you could have caught this, again, it is pretty much 30-minute inverse, 10-minute fair value up, 15-minute fair value up, 15-minute inverse, 15-minute liquidity sweep. There's a lot of confluences. Not really much chance to enter. Even as soon as 3 p.m. opens, it just creates high of the 4 hour and it just dumps. You can enter this on closes. For example, if you've seen this sweep and it closed down here, or as we're breaking structure past this low, you can still enter this, and you're still getting 2 RR of this. That's a buying position. You're still getting 2 RR out of this if you put your SL on the high and then TP at the low, 1.5. Yeah, sure, why not? It's good enough, I guess. This trade right here, pretty clean. Of course, you could have move your SL above this, or again to this 1 minute failure, breakaway gap, inverse, breaker block, whatever you want to call it, and boom, you have a nice trade to lower the day. Very clean, amazing trade on the, if you want to call it, but yeah, that was it. And then low the day gets placed in. We did a little resweep of the low. I love to see this. And then yeah, we did take all of this pool of liquidity. There was like 3 lows here on the hourly. Yeah, more like literally 1, 2, 3. This is basically double lows, swept, and then reswept. Then it started to reverse back into this 1 hour bearish rally up. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, it's a good price action. Of course, you won't really be trading. I didn't trade for the last 2 weeks of the year. Remove all drawings. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As for next week now, first week of the year, I would consider 5th of January. What am I seeing? What do I want? I go through behind my process is purely we broke structure here on the daily, draw liquidity got hit. We also have another draw here, which I will mark out as green. Of course, that's all-time highs. The way I see it though is this sweep here was very nice, and I was waiting for this sweep the entire year to go back to all-time highs. So now I think we will be going back to all-time highs. So that's why, hence, I have the draw liquidity there. If I go to the daily, these retracements after the sweep were also very clean. You can see here equilibrium with the fair value gap. Again, another equilibrium with another fair value gap. Close enough. Inverse, daily, whatever. Good equilibriums, which means good healthy price action. It's like a double equilibrium here, 1 equilibrium, 2 equilibrium, and then we have this. this is what I'm waiting for. I want price to come down to at least this weekly wick, because of course we had this weekly bullish rally up which got tapped into, like the order block got tapped and then closed up here. Next week closed up here, we broke structure. So for me, I want a level at this weekly low, and I want to rebalance this wick, because this wick here runs from 23k to 24k and it hasn't really been rebalanced yet. Furthermore, if I go into the hourly, we have hourly lows here. This is a level for me, because this, like I said with the 1 pip thing, this to me here, this sweep is not enough. So I want price to come back to this sweep, take the orders and then go back up. But draws on liquidity, very simply being all-time highs, and we could even see price reverse completely here, because of course these are like double daily highs, we've taken them and now we're going to reverse off of OTE. Could be a possibility here. You can see daily OTE with the daily sweeps, but I want at least us to come down here, something like this, and then we can go back up. I don't really think that it's gonna do this and then just dump. Don't really see that happening, if I'm being honest. But I'm happy with just this. This is pretty much just weekly lows that I want taken. Draw on liquidity being all-time high and 25k. We're actually pretty close to 25k right now. I actually wanted 25k to get hit by the end of the year, and that did not happen. So I'm guessing January we should hit 25k. And if you don't get a retracement and we just push up higher, that could also be nice, because I am still bullish. It's just I don't mind catching the sell move down. These are strong lows here. Mid-December, you can see like when this weekly failure got touched, very strong. It's just that I don't like how this weekly failure didn't really get rebalanced. I was trying to say the weekly wick didn't get rebalanced. We did tap into it, and then here again. But now we've swept a few daily highs, so we should get that retracement. And we book structure on the daily, double book structure on the daily, also known as a sweep on different time frames. You know what I mean? So either way, I'm just looking for a retracement. Where could we find a retracement? Is probably just like forward failure up. I did say this forward failure up was only mitigated. We also have this order block here. I'm looking for an order block. There isn't really any much. On a sweep here and then a break. It's in the daily. This is a daily sweep and a break above this high. You can see if I'll draw it out for you guys. Sweep here and then a break. So in this daily order block, if I draw equilibrium of this order block from here, still has to come down to this level, pretty much where my purple lines are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I might even put this a bit lower to this high, because inevitably if we sweep this, it's a nice point of control, 7 AM show. I'm happy with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm happy with that. I'm looking for buys next week. I would do a retracement of some sort into at least some fair value up something. We had a bunch of accumulation here. If you look at the monthly, we tapped into a monthly fair value gap and then broke structure. Not broke structure, just had a bullish candle. But this is disgusting. I do want at least all-time highs to get swept before we come down for the November low. Could be a good draw on liquidity in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the DAX recap. Keep it clear and simple. Here are my draw on liquidities and here are my levels. See you next week.